What's up, peoples? You already know. It's your boy, the Latin assassin himself, Big Lou, tapping back in. What it do with Big Lou? NFC R2, baby. Y'all already know. Beep, 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 beep. That means you're getting close to the edge. So don't push me. Anyways, what's up, people? Sorry about that, man. I scheduled this show for earlier, and then I canceled it, and then I bounced back in, and I'm tapping in a little bit early. I was supposed to take care of some. I'm always doing this, and I apologize, but hey, it is what it is. I stack up. I plan too many things out, and it doesn't work out right, so I end up getting, taking, either getting in late or, whatever, or having to cancel like earlier. But every Friday I have something scheduled for 11 that I need to take care of, and they flaked on me today and didn't even tell me. So that's what happened there. Just quickly, Champ is still not here yet. It should be at the latest tomorrow sometime or Sunday. The little issue that's going on is that two puppies out the same breeder. One is coming to me here in California. The other one's going to Tampa, Florida, or Florida, somewhere in Florida. I believe it's Tampa. Things got crossed up as far as the price on shipping, or excuse me, on the ticket, the plane ticket. And so it's a person's got to get two puppies to one place, or excuse me, two puppies to two different places, and therefore they need a second person, and they're going through all that, I guess. So this is why, and I was put up on game about this. This is why a lot of the breeders will say that the transport is the responsibility of the buyer, is because that way, the breeders don't have to go through all this extra headaches of, always trying to get on the phone, always trying to make the phone calls, hoping to get through, hoping to get the call back, trying to line up everything. When it's all said and done, the third part of the deal is selling the puppies, a quality puppy. Temperament is first, in my opinion, and then almost neck and neck is structure of the dog, and health. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So I should be getting them sometime Sunday. Now, I finally got Daisy's embark testing back today. I'm going to keep looking through it, trying to get the understanding of it. I might need to reach out to Raul and see if he can break it down for me better with the text message and send them, and sharing the info with them. What I do understand from what it did say is that she is not a Merle carrier, which is good. That means I could breed her to a Merle if it comes to that. But right now the plan is to breed her with Champ, see what those puppies come out, and then if it's not to my liking or whatever, then we can pick out somebody else. But as of right now, the plan is just to breed her once. Somehow, some way, even in the living situation right now, what I mean by that is not having a actual yard, but I have family members, so we'll work something out. But the plan is to keep every daughter and one son at least. And then, going from there and not breeding Daisy anymore. I only want to breed her once. I'm betting on this blood of these two dogs, Champ and Daisy. They share, because now I got Daisy's papers back from the ABKC, which is American Bully Kennel Club, and it breaks down all her pedigree, right? So as of right now, I do know that there's like four dogs that are on. Let me see. Let me rephrase that. I know right now at the top of my head, I know there's 3 dogs that they share on both their pedigrees, Daisy's and Champs, right? But I want to say there's like 4 and possibly 5 dogs that they share. So so that'll mean doubling up on all that blood, right? They're related, but they're loosely related. Okay, so Horchata is Daisy's grandfather. Horchata is Champ's great grandfather. But the puppies, the female that was involved for the making of the litters they're not the same female, and that's about all that relation is. So every relation that these dogs do have, it's all grandparents and great and further back. So that that would be considered a line breeding, not inbreeding. Inbreeding is more when it's like more the relationship is closer, the blood is closer. So that would be like a mother to a son, a daughter to a father, a grandpa to a granddaughter, a grandma to a grandson, I believe. If I'm incorrect about that, and anybody hears this, correct me if I'm incorrect about that. But I definitely know for sure inbreeding is definitely a father to daughter, a mother to son, and obviously brother and sister, which you don't want that, right? And then line breeding is like what I'm saying. Daisy and Champ they're related, but they're loosely related. You know, they probably would be like third cousins, fourth cousins, or something like that. And then outcross breeding is when the dogs are not related at all. That, you know, you're going to somebody out of your yard to breed with your female, or you know what I'm saying? I don't know why it looks like it's why that's weird how it looks. It looks like it's hanging down some more, the collar. But anyways, so yeah, just give you guys up to speed on that. Now, today is Friday, which I consider Freestyle Friday, but you guys do see the thumbnail. You see the bully there on the thumbnail. So that dog there is a story that the wifey came across, and then she shared it with me. So this dog's out of the Bay Area. He's from the Bay Area. His name's Turbo. I can't really tell. I don't think he's an XL, like Daisy's an XL, extra large. So I've said this many times, but I'll say it again so people know, because I know we get different viewers at different times. And American Bully XL, which stands for extra large, when it comes to a male, it's 19 inches tall to 23 inches. A female, I believe, is 18 to 22 inches. So he doesn't look like he's that tall. He looks more like he's either he could be a standard, a classic. And when it comes to standards and classics, the heights are pretty much the same. The only difference is a standard is thicker than a classic. A classic is more slender, more like a original American Pit Bull Terrier or Staffordshire Terrier. A standard is a little more thicker, you know. And keep in mind, people's the weight usually does not matter. It's the height of the dog. The weight does not matter, because you can have some pocket bullies that are, you know, only 16 inches off the, you know, tall, but they weigh, you know, 90 pounds, 80 pounds, you know, straight little bulls. You know what I mean? He could be a pocket. He could even be a micro. He could even be smaller than that pocket. You know what I mean? He could only be 13, 14 inches tall. I can't tell from that picture. And then also when you try to, you know, it's basically just it's an article in writing. It's not like a news article, even though it's from what do you call that? KTVU, Channel 2 Fox News. So anyways, so this dog was abused in every way you can think of, you know, beat, you know, I don't know so much beat, but treated very cruelly. Also, you know, malnutrition, I can't say that word right. Malnutrition, you know, where he wasn't being fed like he should be. Also, you know, just being treated bad. And now he's been adopted, and he's moving on to start a new chapter of his life down in like LA area. So, you know, these type of stories happen a lot. I just don't understand, you know, people know that they're going to treat their dogs the way they do. It just doesn't just one day, oh, you know, you're yelling at it, smacking it, whatever. You know, this is something that's been, in my opinion, this is something that's been manifesting, and it's probably been done a few different times with different animals, where the animals probably died, you know, some way for whatever reason. They got old, or they just died from the injuries, or, you know what I mean? They've done it more than once. So I don't understand why people want to get a dog just to mistreat them. You know what I'm saying? Sundown. What's up? Triple OG. Man. So I just brought Daisy. My daughter's getting out of school, but I brought her to the park to run around a little bit now, but now it's raining, and it's raining pretty good. I just gave her a bath yesterday. And because we were rushing this morning to get the kids to school, I ended up throwing on her old collar, which I don't like to do that. Once I give them a bath, I get rid of that collar, and I bust out a new one, or a new harness, which she got the new harness on now. So I got like 6, 7 harnesses on deck waiting. Some for now, some when they get fully grown. I got collars, leashes. I mean, up to yin yang. You know what I'm saying? I got 5 bags of dog food that ain't even open yet. You know, I got salmon oil, I got sardine oil to add to the food. You know what I mean? I ordered some new vet, which is it's like a little vitamin. It's for their joints, for their digestive system, for their coat, for their skin. what is it? I think it's for the joints or something else. But anyways, I got that stuff. And the other day I put a video of raw food, and there was a plate, a bowl, and a lot of people thought that was my bowl. Like they were like, "Oh, I wish in another life I was a dog the way you're feeding the dog." Well, okay, well, just to be clear, that wasn't my bowl. I screenshotted that. I haven't started the dog on Daisy on raw yet. I haven't figured out how I want to do it yet, and meaning I don't know if I want to go raw in the summer and kibble in the winter. That's what I mean by that. And also, I don't know how I want to do it. So what I mean by that is, people use, hamburger, ground beef. They use fish. They use chicken quarters, chicken legs. Whole chickens. They use livers. They'll feed the dog kidney. I just watched Lion King owner chop up pigs and all that, and he had like 3 or 4 freezers, the deep freezers full of meat, and he had threw out a pig out. I think it was a pig, or it might have, I don't know, maybe a goat. I don't even know. I didn't get to see all that, but the dogs, he was talking about how the dogs tore this up to get to the organs. And if you know about wild animals, you watch a lot of documentaries on lions and hyenas and leopards and cheetahs and stuff. Wild dogs, where do they eat their prey from? They start from the belly up, because they get all those organs. Those organs are the best pieces of the meal. Also, I believe it has the most protein, but they like it. So the kidneys, the heart, the liver, even the intestines, they eat that shit too. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you'll see the dog when they are not the dog, but the wild animal, when they tear it open, you'll see the shit come out, and they're over there eating that shit up too. No problem. You know what I mean? They dig it. They dig it. And, so they were showing their dogs. And if you guys don't know who Red Lion, he's that big ass red one that I showed in my YouTube channel a while back. He's like 210 pounds, 32-inch head. I mean, when he walked by me, I was like, damn, it's like a horse, a caballo. And then he turned back and told me, no, it's a lion. Well, I didn't know his name was Red Lion. I didn't even know that was part of his name at all at the time. I do now, because I'm following him on IG now, hearing people tell stories about him. I got to see him in person. I mean, literally, he walked by me. He was only like 6 inches from me, if that. And he walked by. Huge ass dog. His son was right there. His son's a young pup. He was like 13 months old, with already freaking about 160, 170 pounds, with like a 27, 28-inch head. I mean, these are full-grown dog sizes, you know what I mean? And he's only 13 months, so he might even be bigger than his dad. I don't know. Well, you won't know until 2.5 or so, and then you'll find out, okay, he's not growing no more. So anyways, I got back Daisy's DNA thing today. She doesn't carry the Merle gene. What's up, Choco? She doesn't carry the Merle gene, but it does say she does carry a diluted gene. So I don't know. So when it comes to the diluted gene, that could be the Merle color. That could be, or not Merle's not a color, it's a pattern, right? And they got different colors of Merle. That blue Merle, chocolate Merle. They got the lighter gray color Merle. The light brown, the darker brown. They got, like I said, they got the black Merle. You see the blue Merle. So it's just, Merle's not a color, it's a pattern. But when it comes, from my understanding, and if I'm incorrect, and anybody can correct me that's watching now or later, the diluted gene is considered the Merle. It's considered the ticking. Also, the colors of the eyes, the nose. I believe all that falls under diluted. But like I said, I'm gonna get with Raul from QBNK Kennels, and because he's the one that turned me on to doing this, and ask him so he can break it down for me a little bit better. The only parts I really understood was it said she's not a Merle carrier. I understood the locus on some of the locus on the color she carries, which they said dark color, black and gray, and the brown she carries. They said a lot of color on the face, markings on the face, but dark. And also it talked about the white, how much white she carries. The only part that I didn't understand, that they said that she would be 63 pounds full grown. She's already that now at 6 months. Well, she just turned 7 months. So that's the part I'm like, okay, how real accurate is this shit? You know what I'm saying? Because she should be, I believe it was a C they were using, a double C, or it might be a double N. I think it's double C means a big dog.
you know, means, 100-pound plus dog. If it's a CI, I believe that's like a large dog, anywhere from, 60, 70 pounds to like 80, 90 pounds. So I got to find that out from Raul if he'll help me out with that. I'm pretty sure he will, especially, showing each other support in the bully community, which it's real lacking in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are in it for the wrong reasons. They're just breeding dogs that breed them. They'll have a nice male, for example, and they'll breed their male with any female just because the people have that 2,000, 3,000 or 5,000 or whatever it is they're charging for stud fee, on hand, and boom, they're making all this money from studding their dog out, but yet they're breeding the male with, females that are not correct and clean. Their structure, their height, their rear. Man, what's the word it's called? They're high, the rear end's high, you know what I'm saying? Their tail might be thicker than normal or longer or shorter, or they might have an underbite, overbite, whatever it might be. But the males are nice and clean and correct, and the females not, and they're just doing it for the money. Some of these people will tell you it's all about the money with me, Lou, blah, 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 which, okay, I guess you're being honest, but at the same time, you're not benefiting the breed. You're not better in the breed. You're being more detrimental to it than anything. John Cabrera, I missed your live today. No, I didn't end up doing it. I ended up canceling it. Yeah. I ended up canceling it and then rescheduling it. And this is it now. So I did do a video. I did a pre-record video earlier showing the dog food the brand that I got for them. But yeah, I didn't do it live. So you're all good. I appreciate you for stopping in and everybody else as well. What else is I gonna say? Let me get over here to pick this kid up. So yeah, people are just breeding, what I'm saying? They're not caring, they'll take a merle to a merle, even though that there'll be some problems, and they'll just say something like, oh, I just dispose of the bad ones and sell the good ones. But the thing with that is that those good ones you think are good might not even be good in the late. And what I mean by that, yeah, now they look good, but they could be potential problems later. They could be having some problems later health-wise, you know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why you don't breed merle to merle, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's not even sunny at all now. It's all gloomy. So I got to get me a haircut. I got a quinceañera to go to tomorrow. And so that's what's up with that. But I've been seeing some other things too. Then you got people that'll lie. You got people that'll lie and say that their dog, I'm not even going to say the name because I don't even know how true it is. Just a speculation, accusation that was put out there, but it's back in the day. But it's a well-known dog, a well-known bloodline that this dog comes from, and what they were saying was that he couldn't even produce, even not about producing puppies, but about producing his juice, right? His semen. That they would have to use his brother to breed and say it was him, So, and that's another thing too. People they just see the dollar. So they're over there breeding their dog multiple times a month. You know what I mean? And before you know it, they can't even sustain, what they're doing. They can't even sustain what they're doing. You know what I mean? Because they can't keep up. And then before you know it, you're burning out your male, and he can't keep it going. You know what I'm saying? He can't keep up. And again, you're doing more damage to the breed than benefiting it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. That's what's going on with that. But in my opinion, it's all about, you got to be doing better for the dog, making the dog better, the breed better. There's so much shit going on that people, they're not making the breed better. You got some people too that just because they got the dog, say from Bossy, or, it's one of Bossy's kids, one of their dogs, like Jumanji, or it might be Mr. Goodbar's kid, or Willy Wonka's kid, or, Victoria's Secret's kid. They're right away selling. That ain't even my kid. Jesus. Yesterday too, same kid. I thought it was my kid yesterday, and it's not. So anyways, they'll just because their dog has a good name behind their pedigree, like Daisy, she got damn good dogs behind her pedigree. I mean, you got dogs that, everybody would, not everybody, but a lot of people wanted to breed, like for example, Horchata, her grandfather. You know how many females he's been bred with? And then he puts out 2 sons. Well, more than that, but these are the 2 that I'm well aware of, Pekkas and Big Woodland out of Scorpion Kennels. And a lot of people's bred with them two males, you know, and then now they produce some big sons as well, Meech and some other ones. So you got all these people wanting to breed their dogs with this bloodline, and they produce. You got producers that produce producers. If you get what I'm saying. So in other words, Horchata had some nice puppies, you know what I mean? And now his sons are making more better, you know, not better, but they're making great puppies too. And then now their puppies are making puppies. So that's what I mean by producers producing producers, right? But you got some people that'll just because their dog's got good pedigree behind them, they'll automatically sell the puppies. They want 5,000, no questions asked, right from the top, first litter, you know, or even more than that. Or, you know, first time they're studying them, they want 5 G's to stud, and they haven't even showed what they can do yet. And that goes for females too. You got to put, like for Daisy, for example, say I wasn't planning on keeping any of the puppies. You know, females always usually go for more than males, 1,000 to 2,000 more, right? And then obviously if you got a Merle, then you add another 1,000 or 2,000 on each puppy, right? That's just how it goes. But what they'll do is the first litter, you know, they want top dollar, and they haven't even shown what they can do yet. So what I was getting to was, like, say Daisy, for example, she's never had puppies, right? Okay, first litter, we sell the puppy, say, we'll say 1,500 to, you know, 1,000 to 2,000 for a male, right? And then for a female, 1,500 to 2,500, right? What's going on? CB shenanigans. And then say, you know, the next heat, say you skip, right? Or if you don't skip the next heat, then you breed her again the second time. Now you got puppies out there that are year old and, you know, a year and 2 months old and 6 months old, right? And then you can be like, okay, here's her first litter. They're a year old now. Look at them. They're nice, clean, and correct. Their structure, you know, their front line, their top line, excuse me, all that stuff. Then their second litter. Okay, now these are her second litter. Here's her puppies. They're 6 months old or 5 months old or 8 months old, whatever it is, right? And then you got something to show for it. Then now when that third litter comes around, now you could bump the price up to, like, say, you know, 3,500 for males and 4,500 for females, or whatever, 4,000 and 5,000, whatever. But some of these people, man, like, because their dogs are nice, the parents, they're just wanting a gang of money for them right then and there, you know, first litter. Which, I mean, that's their prerogative, and if people are going to pay, they're going to pay. But in my opinion, you got to show what you can do first. You know what I mean? That's just how I believe it is. That's how it should be. You know what I'm saying? Funny money in the house. I'm getting into breeding Yorkies. Yeah, Yorkies were very popular too. At one point, my grandma always had Yorkies. My mom had them. My mom had one not too long ago named King, but because of her living situation, she ended up selling them, which I wish she didn't, because then she would have had them now. But she has she's able to legally have them in her apartment and all that because of her ESA companion thing, which that's what we got on Daisy too now. But yeah, Yorkies used to be the shit. Now though, you got these Frenchies. I think the Frenchies are being overbred. There's a lot of them out there. They're over flooding the what do you call that? The market. You know what I'm saying? You got those other ones now, Labradoodles, and then they got the Frenchies now with fluffy ears. It's a trip. It looks funny. They look funny to me. But yeah, you got some of these colors, and I'm not even sure what they're exactly called, but I know one of them is something pink, and you're talking about like $200,000 for a puppy if you get one of those. It's a French bulldog, and then there's another color French bulldog that's worth like $300,000. I'm not sure what the color is called. How, you know what I mean? I heard it real quick. I heard it from Kendrick Perkins, the ex-basketball player, and he's making pretty good money doing this. But people seem to, you know, forget that, excuse me, that this dude's an ex-NBA player. He wasn't a superstar. He wasn't even a star, but he was a role player on the 2008 championship Celtics team, and then he moved on to the Oklahoma Thunder, and then, you know, now he's an analyst for, I think, ESPN, which he's making good money on, and he has a couple jobs with different channels. Actually, they're not the same channel, but different shows. So he's making all that money from there. So a lot of people think he's doing big things just with the dogs alone, but he's also in partnership with another kennel that's, you know, in you know, of course, to him, everybody's a hater. Hi, haters, he says. You ever heard him say that? You know that guy I'm talking about? He always addresses everybody when he does shorts and videos. Hi, haters. Yeah, we doing big things. Yeah, here, I don't remember what his kennel's name is, but anyways, but yeah, there's good money in doing this, but it's not like it's gonna happen overnight. You know, it's gonna be a good couple of years, at least 3-4 years. You figure your dog got to get up to age, and then not only that, you got to create your own legacy, your own line. You know, because you're gonna have to start off with, you know, Remy, with Gray Line, with Gotti, Razor's Edge, you know, Bossy. You know, you got. You know, and it takes, like they say, 6 or 7 generations. I heard some people say 8 generations. You figure each generation is like 2 or 3 years. I think each generation is 2 or 3 years in between. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to take at least that long. So you figure 7 generations, 2-3 years apiece. You know, per generation, you're talking 14 to 21 years. By the time you could say, hey, this is Big Lou's creation right here. This is what we do here at No Fly Zone Bulls. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things. But yeah. So yeah, I need to get that broken down better. That pedigree. I mean, not that pedigree. That DNA thing. Also, they got some events coming up in Turlock, California on the 25th, and then you got April 15th. You got the Tiger's Den Bully Gangs putting on an event. On April 15th, it's a show at Oak Park in Stockton. Black Sea of RBL Posse is going to be there. Anybody that's for the Bay, the Valley, Sacramento area, they know who I'm talking about. Even LA, you guys don't know who RBL Posse is. If you guys don't remember, they had that song, There's a Bluebird on My Shoulder, Can I Kill It? That's one of their first songs, but they've been around 30 years plus. About 31 years, 32 years, about 1990, 88, somewhere around there maybe. Anyways, they'll be there. Well, Black Sea will be there. He's the only surviving member. And then you got some things going on with, like, get involved with on the Instagram and on the Facebook on group chats when it comes to American Bullies. I think those are cool. If you got anything trying to, you know, it's just American Bullies, you come together and each other out, right? So that's why I see me promoting Kennels, you know, businesses that I get from the events that I've been to so far, which has only been one, but I've met a lot more people since being on Instagram, you know, with the dog and all that. My dude was breeding Huskies and getting 5,000 to 10,000 out of each pup. Yeah, then they get that much out of a $10,000. Definitely gonna have obviously a good bloodline, but also championship being in the blood. You know what I mean? My brother has one. My brother has a husky. He has one. His name is Cotto, after Miguel Cotto, the boxer. I mean, he's big. He's probably about 150 pounds at least. He's big. About I want to say he's probably about 26 inches tall, at least, maybe 26 inches, I would say. And he got like this size as a puppy. You know, he was a huge dog at like 10 months old, and then it just grew in the rest of his body. But he's a good dog. I'm not sure if he's papered and all that. I never asked, but my brother keeps telling me to bring Daisy over there so she can get acquainted with him. And I think they have another dog or two. They're small, so Koto's the only big one there. He's a big one, and so that I'm looking for. I want to do that. I've been to a dog park every day. Well, yesterday they were cutting the grass, so they kicked us out of there pretty fast. That's when you guys see the but I was told a story, which I don't want this happening. So their dog was really good, real, you know, sociable with and other dogs. They took her to the dog park and the dog owner, and she never was the same after that. She didn't trust other dogs. She would get all a little bit crazy, and they ended up having to get rid of her. And so I don't want that to happen, right? I can see that happening easy too, because a lot of these dogs, people say, oh yeah, they're nice, they're good, but you got males and females together. If a female's in heat, she's gonna trip off other females, and the males, if there's any females there, if anybody ever took their female dog to the dog park, I'm putting my hands to the dog park. I'll try to get it on camera now. To the dog park, if anybody ever took their dog to the dog park, they're female and she's in heat. I mean, these people got to be some of the dumbest people there in the world, because
anybody knows there's only two sexes in the world, right? Men and women. Same thing with animals. There's only a male, there's only a female. So if you take a female that's in heat, chances are, the other dogs, half the chance is going to be 50% chance they're going to be a male, right? So you're going to take a female that's in heat and then have potentially all these other males around, and they're going to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's real stupid of people. Some people it's so damn ignorant. It's sometimes comical, but sometimes it's just like, it's like, you want to just like, what the hell? You know what I mean? That can, that sums it up for people to understand where I'm getting at with that. But it's a trip how some people act, Oh yeah, they always really, and then you see some of these dogs. Like the other day, I seen a male Rottweiler jump on like 2 or 3 dogs, and luckily that the other dogs were not fighters at all. Period. They just submitted right away. And I told that Rottweiler, because the owner was nowhere near. They were like walking real far behind. I told that Rottweiler, I said, you do that to my dog, I'm gonna put my foot up your fucking ass. I told him just like that, right? And he looked at me and he's like, I don't know if you understood, but it seemed like he did. He took it for what it was worth. I'm not into that shit. You ain't gonna come over here jumping on my dog, perhaps, scarring him or her up because you want to grab her or grab him. I don't play that shit. I didn't fight my dogs when I was younger, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna allow that for that same reason, and I'm not gonna let that go down now. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's too late. Dogs act, and then there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I mean by that is a injury or something. That's what I meant by that. But it's just unfortunate when things like that happen. But I would hate for that to happen, because as of right now, Daisy's really good. With people, with other dogs, even the cats. She'll see them and she won't run at them. And I think that has to do with Big Al from Warren's Finest Kennel. He has cats too. So I'm assuming that his other dog, the older ones, like Daisy's mom and her older sister from a different litter and different dad, so a half sister, they probably didn't trip on the cats, and so it's a monkey see monkey do game with the dogs. Usually the puppy, the younger one will mimic the older ones. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably what happened there. But and I always had good success with having older dogs, and then the younger ones, learning from them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure this will happen, because Champ is also has excellent temperament, just like Daisy, and they also share some of the same blood. And he's really he's kept in the house, him and his siblings, because I think they decided to keep, like, I know they kept a brother that's a twin to him. Pretty much a twin to him, and they decided to keep a chocolate white female. I think she's a female. There's a blondish female, more blondish, and then there's a chocolate tri that they decided to keep. I think they're keeping 4 or 5 of them out of the litter, and he's right there with them in the house, spending, living the good life. Yeah, they definitely spent money on the mom and dad too, that made the pups for them to breed. Yeah, so that's basically how it goes. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. It just gets, like I said, the temperament, in my opinion, temperament's number one. The dog's got to act right. They got to be calm, cool, and collective with different situations. What I mean by that is them hearing different noises. That's why it's always good to get them out there, get them sociable, get them there's a certain word. You get them acclimated to hearing things, like take them to the farmer's market. You take them to the park. You take, usually near a school, when the kids get out, they hear all the yelling, the screaming from the kids running. They don't start acting different. Take them close by the train here, not by the train, but, somewhere close enough where they hear the train, all the noise. Also take them to the, farmer market, obviously have them on the leash. California, there's a leash law. Take them to the, the parks, the near the schools, take them on a lot of walks. I've seen some dogs trip out on just a garbage can with the bag that's flapping in the wind, and they're tripping on it. They're like, oh, acting spooked and barking and growling and all that. I think the kid part is important, because all the different screaming, the running around, the yelling, they start hearing all that, they don't trip. You know what I'm saying? And get them and start doing it with them as young as you can. So usually a good breeder should be keeping these puppies till like 10 weeks before they allow them to go to their house or their homes. But as soon as you get your puppy and you get their 7 and 1s
or they're 9-in-1s. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but Spectrum is the brand. You get the parvo shots. Once you get the 3rd round of parvo shots, then you start taking them out. So usually how that goes is usually the breeder will give them the 1st and 2nd ones, and then you usually will have to get the 3rd one. But sometimes they'll take care of all that. So you get the 1st one, you wait 4 to 6 weeks, get the 2nd one. Again, wait 4 to 6 weeks, get that 3rd one. Once you get that 3rd one, they're good to go, and then you don't get it again for a year. You know what I mean? But parvo, American Pit Bull Terriers, Staffordshire Terriers, bullies got strong bloodline of those, both those breeds. They catch the parvo very easy, and it's no freaking joke. I mean, it literally tears them up, kills them in a matter of a week or so. You'll see the difference. They'll look droopy. You can tell they're sick. It'll have a certain smell. The poop will have like a film on it, and you can just tell they're not right, that they're sick. Something's bothering them. So I've been through this before when I was younger. I didn't know what it was, but I lost a few puppies when I was younger. Then my dog Raul had caught it, where he was almost done, bleeding out of his butt and all that. I had a kid that lived across the street, ride him down to the vet on the bike. I drove. It was only like 2 blocks. Took him in. They immediately put him on IVs. Every day I had to go and drop $100. He took 7 days. I took him out. He made it. Boom. His nephew I had shortly, I was like caring for him until the guy who I got him from, Zach Raul from nephew, was able to take him. It was like 2 months. Well, he caught it. In the meantime, I decided to keep him at home and save him that way, or treat him that way, and he made it. So they give you these big old horse pills. You just put them in their mouth and then hold their mouth closed, raise their head, they'll swallow it. And then you give them Pedialyte, Gatorade, and you hydrate them, because what it is, they get dehydrated, and I forgot exactly sure how it goes, but it messes with their throat first, and then some other things. But they just get highly dehydrated, and so that's how he made it, and then never had an issue again. But I don't ever want to deal with that shit again. My son's dog had it about 6-7 months ago. Like I said, it's no joke. It's not something fun to mess with. It's not something fun to watch. You know what I mean? So the best thing to do is to be on your game, and and that's what when I say stay on point, like Stacey Adams with your American bullies, that's what I mean. Be up on game, fully up to par when it comes to your dogs. That way they don't even have to even, they don't test this. You don't have to even test this at all, or even go down that road. That's what I mean by that. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and tap out for now. This is just a short live. I wanted to get one out. I haven't did one all week or last week. And this is where I was lacking on my channel, was the lives. So everything's been a plus. I appreciate everybody for watching, everybody for subbing, all the new subs, and giving me those views, those watch hours. You know what I mean? I got a little over 800. I got about 830 subs. We're a little less than 200 shy of hitting that 1,000 mark. Long ways away still from hitting the 4,000 watch hours. I think I'm barely at like 2,000 watch hours. Nonetheless, I'm in this to win this. I'm in this for the long haul. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. It's on like Donkey Kong, you feel me? And me, Daisy, the fam. And when Champ gets here, he'll join. And we're going to do this for reals, because it's going down, man. How we do it here on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? All right, peoples. All right, let's get it. Wait, when